All right, fam, what is up? It's your boy Josh back again with another video. Today we are walking in the woods and I told myself, hey, this is the perfect time to film a iPhone 16 Pro Max update. So I have been using this phone, which I am actually recording on right now. I've been using this phone for the last, I don't know, 7 months, I guess. So far, it's pretty good. I've had issues here and there. So I switched from the iPhone 13 Pro Max to this 16 Pro Max. I think overall it was a good choice. So my iPhone 13 Pro Max, I had a lot of issues with it. Only the 1X camera worked. The front-facing camera and the telephoto and ultra-wide decided to no longer work. And I knew I wanted to start my YouTube channel. So I knew I needed to go ahead and buy a new phone in order for me to, for one, have a device that had multiple cameras, which was a necessity. And for two, I needed more storage. So when the 16 Pro Max was announced, I knew I was going to go ahead and order it. Now, one thing I noticed right away whenever I got the 16 Pro Max was that the design was majorly improved. This new titanium is absolutely beautiful. I love the color. The natural titanium is absolutely gorgeous. I love how the edges of the body are more rounded. I love how the phone is actually lighter than what it was prior. When it comes to this phone, I just love the natural state of the natural titanium. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous phone. And of course they increased the screen on this phone to 6.9 inches. And they gave us those extremely thin bezels, which I of course very much appreciate. And it's funny because I feel like now that the bezels are so thin and the phone is so light compared to previous models, I'm ready, Apple, for you to increase the display even larger. There are occasions, especially if you don't use a case, where this phone weirdly feels small. The display on this phone, absolutely great. I actually use a FlowLab 3D screen protector. And the cool thing about this FlowLab screen protector is that it has an anti-reflective film built on it. So it's very similar to my Galaxy S25 Ultra in terms of anti-reflectivity. So that is by far really the only screen protector I recommend using for that very reason. Going back to the display, overall, it gets very bright, even in bright situations, and it gets extremely dim as well, which I very much appreciate on those days where you're using it in an extremely dim situation. Very sharp, color accurate, but vibrant and beautiful at the same time. The display on it's amazing. I love it. By the way, guys, this video is a little bit different from my typical videos with me walking like this. But yeah, if you're liking this video so far, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like the video. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And I just want to say thank you for everybody who has tuned in to watch my content in the past. I have a lot more coming for you all. Now, one thing we have to address is the elephant in the room, Apple Intelligence. Now, when I bought this phone, I knew Apple Intelligence was coming, but it wasn't something I was using to influence my buying. Like, I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be on this phone. Yeah, it's cool that they worked on that project, but to me, it was not something that I necessarily wanted. I will say I have used Apple Intelligence more than I thought I would have, and particularly the writing tools. I like the feature where ChatGPT can create context based on what you want written. And I like how I can just proofread my emails and things like that. But that is a very basic level of AI. So I would like to see Apple do more. I do like visual intelligence or whatever they call it, but that's not something that's a necessity. It is cool to have. I just don't have that many occurrences in life where I don't know what something is. It's cool to have in those moments of need. Apple Intelligence it's just okay. I wouldn't allow Apple Intelligence to become a reason why you upgrade your phone. At this point, on this phone, and honestly, on other phones I've used, that to me is just not a buying reason just yet. AI is cool, but for one, I wouldn't pay for it on a monthly subscription ever at this point. And for two, I buy a phone for other reasons. AI is just not one of the reasons. The performance on this phone has kind of been hit and miss depending on the iOS update. So Apple has made a lot of changes with iOS 18. Now overall, iOS 18 has been all right. I've had some weird bugs. Like for example, I still have a bug where I open the camera app and sometimes it either force closes or the screen is black. And I have missed out on moments in life that I wanted to record because of this. So that of course is disappointing. I think it's been better now that I am on iOS 18.4, but still something like that is just surprising that it is still happening. I've had that bug since the phone released. Let me know in the comments, guys, how you feel about this video quality. Like I said, this is the rear camera 4K 30 cinematic video and in HDR, of course. Oh man. So yeah, other than the bugs I've had with iOS 18, this phone still performs very well. I beat the heck out of my phones. I use them for gaming, for my full-time job, for my YouTube creating, for just daily day in life. I record a lot of videos, you know, just all kinds of stuff with my iPhone. And so far it really has held up. Now, the part that has held up way better than I expected is the battery. For me, the battery life on this phone is fantastic. I've played around with different ways of charging this phone. So right now I use a 45-watt charger, which I'll leave in the description if you guys want to look at it. A 45-watt charger overnight and charge it up to 100% optimized charging. I'll typically take it off between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. And by 11:30 p.m. at the end of the day, there are days where my phone will still be between 50 and 60% battery life. And that's with using the phone all day for phone calls, for texting, for videos, for editing videos, for taking photos with all different lenses, making thumbnails, doing my daily job. So a lot of Microsoft Teams, a lot of Microsoft Outlook, a lot of spreadsheets. The phone's battery just goes and goes and goes. I love this battery. I will say if you record video a lot, the phone will die a lot faster. And I typically record in 4K cinematic or 4K 60. But yeah, the battery to me is amazing. It's been a little hit and miss depending on the updates, same with the performance. But the current version of iOS I am running, which I believe is iOS 18.4, has been really good. I have also been shocked by how well this phone stays cool. I am able to heat up this phone only by recording video. I have typically been able to heat up my old iPhones by just making phone calls or watching YouTube videos, especially on a bright, beautiful day like today. And the screen would dim quite dramatically and the phone would heat up to where you honestly can't use it. I know a lot of people had issues with their 15 series and that being a problem, but I have none of those issues on my 16 Pro Max. I'm a little bit nervous on the iPhone 17 series. Apple will typically make a fantastic phone like this one and then screw it up somehow with the next version. Like for example, the 13 Pro Max to the 14 Pro Max, the 14 series had worse battery life. And of course the 15 had the overheating issues. I love how beautiful the dynamic island is. I feel like it would be more problematic if I had the thicker bezels like the 14 series, but on the 16, I love dynamic island. I love the software features it has. I love the way it looks. I love the way it interacts with the operating system. I love dynamic island. I love the always on display. That was something I was missing out on the 13 series phones. Now that I have AOD on my iPhone, I feel like I can't go back to an iPhone without it. Absolutely love always on display. I love how good the speakers are. The speakers are really good, have really good quality, really good volume, really good overall sound. It doesn't sound as loud and as in your face as the S25 Ultra does, but I would definitely say that this is the second best set of speakers on the market. There's just a lot of good things I love about this phone. I think overall, when you look at it, it's just Apple intelligence. The promises they made, the whole big deal with the advertising they did, it was weird, man. It was a way to sell this phone because without it, for normal people, I feel like the upgrade wouldn't have been good enough. For me, it was, because I noticed the things I just mentioned, but I don't know if every single consumer would. Yes, typically on an upgrade, I would want more, but I feel like they did a really good job with this. If Apple just focuses on iOS 19 of fixing all of these bugs, which it honestly doesn't sound like they're doing. It sounds like they're doing a redesign, which will come with bugs. But I feel like if they just sit down and focus and make the phone very consistent as we want iPhones to be, and they keep damn near everything else the same on the iPhone 17, I think it will be a very good phone. I think at this point, I think you should hold off if you are thinking of upgrading to the 16 series, mainly because of that new design. It's going to look different, which A lot of normal consumers will enjoy a phone that looks different, but if you are in a situation to where your phone is dying or having issues like mine was, for example, then just go ahead and upgrade. You will have a absolutely fantastic phone. Now, talking about the cameras, let's talk very quickly about camera control. I use camera control to launch the camera. I kind of go back and forth with disabling it and keeping it on. A lot of times whenever I keep it on and I don't use a case, there are situations where I'm using the camera and the camera control button gets in the way. So for example, the camera control settings has a feature where you can do a half press and it locks focus. But a lot of times when I'm just trying to take a picture or record video and it does the half press focus, it causes the video to look all messed up and out of focus and all that stuff. Same way with photos. So I do not like that feature. And then a lot of times it will scroll through the settings whenever somebody's just trying to take a picture. Especially if I hand the phone over to somebody else to take a picture of me and my family, then they're all, their hand sometimes hits it, the camera's out of focus. It just acts weird. So I guess it's okay if you're used to it, but I really don't like using or keeping camera control enabled. I'll just go ahead and disable it. I love it as a feature to launch the camera, so that way I can use my action button for something else. But the actual usability of camera control, it's okay. It's not something that's needed. I do play around with it. I do use it here every once in a while, but I think it being in the way takes precedent over the usefulness of it. The cameras on this phone, absolutely beautiful. As you guys see here, the camera itself is great. Cinematic video is great. I like how all lenses can shoot very high quality. I like how you can shoot in 4K 120. I mean, the cameras are absolutely fantastic from videos and photos. One feature that is extremely underrated that I don't even know if a lot of people know about, the iPhone camera, whenever you use the 1X lens, you have the ability to enable 2 additional focal lengths. But you can set those additional focal lengths as your favorite as well, which I very much appreciate. So for example, you have the 1X, the 1.2X, and the 1.5X standard focal length. And I have my favorite or my default set to 1.5. I love the way the 1.5 focal length looks on the main lens. It is absolutely my go-to. I feel like the standard 1X lens is just a little bit too wide. I like taking photos just a little bit more zoomed in. It gives me more of a real life feel. So that feature to me is godsend. So of course I now have 1X, 1.2X, 1.5X, and 2X. I love that. Give me all the focal lengths in the world. I love using different zooms, just really good. Fantastic camera. Back to video real fast. I shoot the majority of my videos on the 16 Pro Max. It really is a fantastic video camera as well. The ability to shoot in log. I mean, you can do so much with these cameras. It's just fantastic. I can't really say much more about it. So yeah, as you can tell, I mean, of course I'm biased because I bought this phone, but I really do love my 16 Pro Max. If you can get past the software issues, which of course I wish didn't happen, and the AI blunder, this phone's fantastic. It is the best iPhone. Yeah, I really like this phone. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a comment with a black heart, just letting me know that you watched all of it. I really appreciate you all. I will see you in the next one. Like I said, subscribe if you did it. Like this video. I'll see you next time.